Grow My Cleaning Company teaches owners of cleaning companies just like you how to grow your company, make more money, and finally take charge of your financial future and your life. This podcast is about automating and creating systems that give you time and money freedom so you can grow like crazy without losing control. Since this is totally free, if you're getting tons of value, want to support us and make sure that you get more of the good stuff, subscribe, rate, and review to this podcast today. Now, on to the show. Hey, Cleaning Nation. My name is Mike Campion, and I am with the lovely Kayla Marshall. She started Maui Deep Clean, which is a residential cleaning company. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that on today's podcast in May 2020. So we're recording this February 2021. Oh no, March 2021. Holy heck. She is on Maui in Hawaii. She had been a cleaning employee for years and decided, hey, it's time to stop working for the man and be the man or the woman, however you want to do, but stop working to make other people rich and build a business on her island. So, Kayla, welcome to the podcast. Let's start with something fun and interesting about Kayla. Not even about your business, just about you as a human being.
I would say I lived out of the country for a decade, and coming back to Hawaii is really the only time that I've lived in America for the last 17 years of my life.
So, which country? And you better speak another language.
I speak some British and some Australian. No, I only speak English. I lived in
I guess if you've been to the UK or Australia, yeah, you're allowed not to. Yes. So did you have friends, family, or just like, I want to travel, I can travel, and I'm going?
Yeah, I was a scuba diving instructor. So I lived in a lot of Southeast Asia countries and Australia, and I've got a lot of family over in the UK. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said this on a podcast, but I'm going to say it now. Leaving Southeast Asia, like Thailand and Phuket and some of the best, most beautiful places in the world is where I'm picturing. You know, if that's where you were.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
When I heard scuba diving, I'm like, I know where you were. I love owning cleaning companies. That's amazing. But I don't know if I'd leave traveling the world, teaching people how scuba diving, getting paid to clean. What brought you back to Hawaii?
I came to Hawaii to teach scuba diving. And I was honestly just pretty burnt out. I did it for 9 years and could not teach another open water course. And so I started working in restaurants, and then that fell into doing cleaning during the day. And I really love cleaning. It's very cathartic. It's not very people-y, which all my other jobs are dealing with other humans. So it's nice to listen to podcasts and get moving, and it's a satisfying job. But I'm trying to move out of the mindset of somebody who cleans toilets for a living into somebody who's building a business that's going to help me take care of myself as I move on in life, and something that I can hopefully one day sell and create jobs for the people.
All of you guys, the gals of Cleaning Nation, to hear that. So everyone comes to us going, hey, what do I do? How do I do it? Get more clients, get more employees, all that stuff. And that's all really great. We love teaching folks that. But the goal you just stated that you have is really where we need to start. So if you didn't hear it, what I heard and what I want you guys to hear, and gals, is I want to change my mindset from being a human being who cleans toilets for money into a human being who has a business that happens to be in the cleaning universe. That's a really big deal. We can help people that have that desire to make that happen, but we can't give that to you. So if you show up going, I love cleaning toilets, that's A-okay. No judgment. But there's not much we can do for you. So I love that coming with the foundation and the bare minimum of, I want to change from employee to business owner. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's like the bare minimum. If people don't come with that, we're like, we really have nothing to coach. All right. So now that you've got the bare minimum, you're like, I get it. I don't want to clean anymore. I want to be an employee. I want to be an employer. I want to be an entrepreneur. What on God's green earth can I use the time that we've got right now to help you in that goal, young lady?
I'm just trying to figure out how to find a niche and then how to market that properly. Okay.
So first of all, she's already like, you're further ahead than I think you might know. Understanding I got to change my mindset first, my beliefs about business and who I am and what value I bring to the world. That's the number one thing. Once you're moving through that process, so many people just be like, oh, I just want to start selling anybody and everybody. And who's my niche? Anyone that will give me money for something to clean. And it feels like we'll get a faster start that way.
I've definitely been doing that though.
It's,
yeah.
again, this is probably my least favorite topic because it's one of the most important. Like if it wasn't as important as it was, I would just take it out of our coaching and training altogether. Because people fight me on it every daggum time. And it's just hard for them to, most of the things that we teach in terms of here's how to get clients and here's how to run ads and here's how to make a funnel and understand their pain. Most of the stuff we teach, people are like, I get that. That makes sense to me. And they might fight emotionally, but mentally they're with me. The niche is one of the few things that we teach where they fight me emotionally and mentally. I think if I was with you, you might try and fight me physically. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works.
I'd win.
Yeah, look at her. She's got some guns. So I don't think I want any part of that trouble, frankly. I'm glad she's emotion away. Yeah. And she got a better tan than I do too. For those of you enjoying us on video, I feel white and pink and she's all, none of those things. She looks like a lady that's been teaching scuba diving in Hawaii, which is that's the look I want, frankly. Not the lady part. I'm just the scuba diving team. Nothing wrong with ladies. I think I'd be an ugly. I wouldn't be a handsome woman. Let's put it that way. All right. So rewinding. It's so funny because we tell ourselves these lies of, and we're going to talk about exactly your specific situation, Kayla, but I want to make sure we get the overreaching groundwork and then we'll get specific. We tell ourselves this lie, like, well, the more people, the more opportunities I have, the more I can get. And I can sell this guy and that guy and the other guy. But the problem comes in, we don't want to do, and I'm not coaching you to do stuff like, let's knock on doors and let's just cold call people. And I guess if you just want, so we are like, we want to automate it, right? So we want to have some sort of system where like, maybe if I did a flyer or a website or a landing page, or there's like lots of cool automated stuff that we teach and we love all that stuff. The problem is so many people, and I get so frustrated answering, you're like, I can't teach another open water scuba. I'm like, I can't review another website with the same problems. I need new problems. Mm-hmm. It's always the same thing. I'll say, we go to the website and I go, who are you trying to sell? I'm like, people that have dirty things. I'm like, okay. And they're like, what do I say that's effective? I'm like, I don't know. Right. Like if you're trying to catch fish and I go, what kind of fish are you trying to catch? A shark, a whale, a grouper or whatever. And you're like, I don't know, but what bait should I use? I'm like, that's a ridiculous question. How can anyone answer that? So we're super unclear with who we're trying to help. And if we don't know who we're trying to help, how in God's green earth can we know what they want? Right. And like, well, they have dirty things. They want them cleaned. It's like, do they? We don't even know. Like we want to sell cleaning service. So we make this terrible assumption that people want cleaning service, and maybe they do. But if that's all we know about them is they have dirty things that want them clean, the only website you can have is give me money and I'll clean your things that are dirty. And and you're like, wow, that sucks. I'm like, I'm aware it sucks. Right. But if we don't have any information, we can't help them. So it's really, really important if you want to automate and again, if you go up to just like if I went up to 1,000 girls and said, hey, Kayla, I want to get married, I'd probably get slapped in the face. But if I did that another 999 times, there'd be some psycho chick that'd be like, hell yeah, let's do this. Right. A, she's not the girl I want, right? She's an insane person. And B, who has time to go up to 1,000 people to ask a ridiculous question I don't even know. Right. If Kayla was and I'm already married 10 years, by the way, Kayla. So, and I have an amazing, beautiful bride. So promise I'm not hitting on you. But if I did want to date Kayla, I would probably, or a woman, I'd probably be like, what things are women interested in, right? Who are they? Like, which type of women? There's elderly women, probably not for me. There's married women, definitely not for me. There's infants, also not for me. There's women that are single and of my age, but not looking to date, not for me. So I'd want to be clear on, I'm not just looking to date. If you ask me who you're trying to, I'm like, anyone, all those categories, elderly, dead people, anyone, I'll date whatever. Yeah. You're like, that's insane. That's a crazy thing. Right. But so, and then I had the audacity to go, Kayla, tell me how to get these women. You're like, which ones? Like elderly married women, which you shouldn't be trying to date, are going to have a completely different things that I would say to them that would be effective, different than a 4-year-old, right? So just be like, they're all women. If the more chances I got, if I dated anybody, I could date turtles. That's a whole other billion people. Or you're like, it makes no freaking sense. So when it comes to dating, and I make it because everyone gets it, it makes sense to be clear on who we're looking for. And if I did the numbers, well, there's 6 billion humans on Earth. And if I'm like, well, I only want to date women, great. Now we're down to 3 billion. And if I only want to date single women, now we're down to 1. And the numbers keep going down. And if I only want to date women that are in the greater Phoenix area, I'm down to, and I'm making this up, I have no idea, but let's call it 173,912 women. That's plenty. I just need the one, right? So on niches, we're like, oh, if I break it down into my niche, I'm down to like 18,000 perfect prospects. Okay, how many do you have? And they're like 9. And you're really worried that the 17,991 prospects isn't enough. The problem is we need to loosen our standards. That's never the problem. We need to tighten our standards. So just if I came to Kayla and said, hey, Kayla, I want to date a girl. Help me date a girl. The first question she would ask is, what kind of a girl? Right? Like, of course, because she's not a psychopath. And I'm like, doesn't matter. Any girl will do. What should I say? She's gonna be like, I have no clue. How could I possibly help you date a girl? Is she old? Is she young? Is she from the Philippines? Is she in America? Is she looking to date? There's 1,000 questions that you'd have to ask me before you could give me any feedback. But people come to me all the time going, help me get clients. What kind of clients? I don't know. Then we're stuck. All right. So are you cool on the general foundation of, if we just try and date anybody, we'll date nobody?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
and the
that's
people
my life.
Say yes to, yeah, Kayla's like, oh, this is hitting too hard. So, and this works in relations, by the way. If Kayla is single and she's like, I'm looking for a fella, maybe be specific on the kind of gentleman you're looking to get. And if you're not, you'll get a bunch of knuckleheads. And she's like, damn it, I've been marketing for men all wrong.
I'm learning so much from this podcast.
I had no idea. Yeah, we're gonna get her. We're gonna get her a successful business, married up. We'll get the whole thing handled. Kayla's gonna be a happy lady. So yes, this absolutely works in relationships, and it makes so much sense when if we did have a real conversation about who you wanted to date, you'd have thoughts about their spiritual beliefs, their desire to have a family or not, their age, their income, their family, what they believe about. Like, you'd have a lot of serious thoughts about this stuff. You'd be able to articulate them. So if you did put an ad up on a dating site or whatever that looked like, you could be specific. But if you just went like, dude, that's it. I have no other qualification, just dudes. Like, it's insane. So let's talk about what kind of niche would be good for you. Let me do a big exclusion, because I think Kayla's talked about some of these. Right off the bat, my coaching would be to exclude, right? Just with dating, for me, it would be easy to go, married women are out, people none of my age are out. For me, spiritual beliefs that didn't match would be out. I've got pretty easy, they're just out. So for me, when it comes to perfect prospects, anyone that's not recurring the same job over and over would be out. So construction cleanups would be out for me, because you have to kind of bid them and then hopefully make enough money. And it's just very hard to scale. It's very hard to make money. Most people do that for a couple of years. Either learn it doesn't work and go out of business, or learn it doesn't work and then change niches. So I'm just going to coach all of you guys and gals. Let's just skip that now. Let's just save ourselves the brain damage. So move in, move outs, I wouldn't do, because that's a one-time thing, and you have to sell and do all the work that you have to do for a regular recurring cleaning, but you only get paid $200 or whatever the one-time cleaning is. Whereas if you sell a recurring service, you get paid over and over again. So for me, I would only take recurring service. If I was commercial, that service would have to be at least once a week. I'm not going to do anything that's like every 2.5 weeks or every third month or anything weird like that. If I was residential, I would only take stuff that was, me personally, every other week or more frequently. So weekly or every other week. I personally wouldn't take monthly. If you fought me on it and be like, I want monthly, I'd be okay with that. But anything below that, I really wouldn't take. I'll just call one time, just come clean up for this, or I'll call you when I need you. That wouldn't be again, we'll go back to dating. If you had a guy that was like, I'll just call you when I need you, hopefully you're going to tell that guy to piss off. You're looking for a guy that you can have a real relationship that's mutually beneficial. So, that would be the first, I would eliminate all of those people. Okay. That said, let's talk about your niche and what you're thinking, and we'll see if we can't sort you out.
Well, I have been so far advertising. I've been doing like a pretty cheap deal to try and just get some residential clients so that I can gain some word of mouth. But already I'm seeing it's kind of hard. People will cancel, and you go and there's kids running around the house. So I really think that I want to start focusing on just doing vacation rentals, because obviously they're coming out of our ears here. Like, they're everywhere. And that's what I have a lot of experience with. So I want to know kind of how to get into VRBO, Airbnb. Like, is there a platform where I can go just put myself on there so that they can find me, or how do I find them?
Great question. So first of all, I love what she said about, I want to make a couple comments on the cheap clean. I'm okay with that, and I like that. First of all, she made a good point. Until I know who my perfect prospect is, I don't even know. So I would never offer a free or cheap clean to someone that wasn't a perfect prospect. And if you don't know who your perfect prospect is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. Just again, well, I don't know why the dating works, but everyone gets it. You wouldn't go on a date with a guy unless you knew, well, I need him to look a certain way or be a certain way or be a certain age. So you wouldn't give him a free clean, a date, right? Time. Basically, it's the same thing. It's your time. You wouldn't invest time in a guy unless you thought he was a potential marriage partner or someone that you could have a long-term relationship with. So same thing with a clean. But if you don't know who that is, who the perfect prospect is, how can you exclude? Right? If you haven't defined what a perfect date looks like or customer, you can't exclude non-perfect prospects. But when it comes to dating, we get that obviously, right? If a guy asks you out and you're like, oh, immediately I know you're not for me, hopefully you'll be kind and just go, hey, I appreciate the invite. It's a no, thank you. So
how do you turn down a client without getting like
super easy? Ask me to build your website, which we don't do.
Mike, can you build my website for me?
I could do a lot of stuff, Kayla, but we know we're the best in the whole wide world at transforming business owners completely, and a website's just a small piece of that. So I'd probably turn you on to someone that is really good at just that. That's not our thing.
Okay.
And it's the truth, right? I don't want to do something I'm not great at, right? So first and foremost, you're so close, Kayla. You've got a lot of the things right in order. We just need to, or right in your mind, we just need to kind of put them in order. So first and foremost, we got to get clear on who we want. I'm okay with cheap or discounted or free cleans if it's a perfect prospect. So if you're like, I don't know who my perfect prospect is, then I certainly wouldn't do anything. There's none of the strategies we're going to talk about until you understand your perfect prospect are going to work. So step one, get a perfect prospect. If you say, I want VRBOs, I want to do an asterisk for the rest of Cleaning Nation. I'm okay with VRBOs. They're probably not my favorite, how I choose to build a business, but they're great. I will accept them because they're non-recurring. Like if I'm going to clean your primary residence, we can probably agree I'll be there every Tuesday, or my team will be there every Tuesday, every other Tuesday, and I just bill you and it's super easy. But you're probably only going to be $200, $300, $400, $500 a month, and that's it, because that's all the services you need. So I like it better because we sell it once, we know exactly what's going to happen. I can put you on a schedule. It's super easy. But there's no chance I'm going to clean I shouldn't say there's no chance. It's unlikely I'm going to clean your house 8 times in a month. The VRBO, however, there is no schedule, right? They're kind of like, hey man, when someone checks in, you need to have cleaned it prior to that, and you only have the time before they check in and out. So you're kind of building in some drama. It's still scalable. So VRBOs are right between one-time cleans because they're brand new every time. I mean, it's the same house, but depending on the guest, the clean may be completely different. So there's some variables I don't love, but I'll accept them because it is the same house and it is the same client. And you can get one house that could be worth $1,000 a month, right? Because of that. So the hesitation that I have, and if you're like, I'm okay with that, it's totally cool. I just want to kind of tell you what to look for. The hesitation I would have is having to resell, you're building in drama, right? You can't just create a schedule and leave. Somebody's got to manage. Hey, they're checking in, they're checking out. And most of the time it happens in advance, but sometimes it's last minute and you got to be ready for all that. The second thing, and let me give them both and I'll take your feedback, which is more for Cleaning Nation, I think, than you. Oftentimes, the majority of the time, vacation rentals are super seasonal. I hate seasonal businesses. I hate when we make all of our revenue or 80% of our revenue in 20% of the months. That sucks. I don't know Hawaii as well. I'm guessing it's far less seasonal, but I'm guessing there are some seasons. So maybe seasonal in Phoenix would be like 5 months out of the year. Maybe seasonal Hawaii is 9 months out of the year that works, but that's still 3 months that ain't great. So those would be my 2 yellow to red flags. And if you're like, got it, still want to go forward, we're good. But for everyone not in Hawaii, most of the places are seasonal. Questions, comments, thoughts?
I just love that you pointed that out about the drama factor being added in, because that's the only kind of cleaning I've ever really done is out here with the turnovers. And so when I hear people talking about like set it and forget it and having systems and processes in place, I'm like, but how? Because you do have these last minute booking turnarounds. So I really like that you kind of made the point that that's really not the case with residential. And I think I am getting a lot of clarity on that. I would like to focus on that because I do want to have a schedule where I know that I can tell, because as one of the employees, it is hard when you have somebody calling you at 10 at night being like, oh my God, can you do this back to back tomorrow? And you want to show up and help out, but it's like, God, and I don't want to, the business I want to build is not to put people in that place. I want to give people their time back, and that's employees and customers and myself. We live in a beautiful place. I want to be able to enjoy it,
Great point. So hopefully you heard me not saying VRBOs are bad or VRBOs are good.
Mm-hmm.
Said here's not just you, but the listeners. Here's kind of the strengths and weaknesses of VRBOs. And that really helped Kayla go, oh, based on that, now that I know this is a good niche for me, or in this case, maybe not a good niche, but hopefully you're seeing if you don't, it's a foundation, right? Everyone's like, I just want to start building framing out in this house. Who cares if there's concrete or if it's level, because it's not sexy, right? Framing stuff's fun and sexy. But if you start framing, no foundation's a mess. So if we don't know who our clients are and we just take VRBOs, all of a sudden we get to this point where we're constantly taking phone calls and there's drama and we don't even know why, right? So starting at the beginning with who is my perfect prospect and what kind of life do I want to build and what kind of business do I want to build and which prospect can I serve to accomplish that will get you so much farther, so much faster than just anyone that's got 2 nickels to throw at me, I'll dance, right? So if you're like, okay, based on that, I really do want the residential. Let's just get more specific about residential. So you said, and Kayla did something really common, guys, gals, which is I didn't like this part about my niche. I didn't really have a niche, but I didn't like these aspects. So I changed completely, right? I was dealing with homeowners. I didn't like the fact that they have kids there or they'd call and cancel. So I changed niches. What I'd coach you all to do, including Kayla, is to change your systems and processes. So instead of changing niche, you can go, well, I'm only going to, or they complain about price, right? Because that's, by the way, that's the risk of doing a cheap clean or free clean is you get the mooches. But if you pick the right clients, you won't get the mooches, right? So if you pick clients that live in $1 million homes, which in Maui, I think is pretty easy to do, that really have pain around this. Ideally, they're working, they understand. So really, we want people that value time over money. They understand my time is worth way more than money, and they'll treat your time like it's worth more than money because they understand that's how it works. And you're like, well, how do I know that? There's some easy demographic stuff. Single dude that's parents gave him $1 million house that bums on the beach all day. He's going to value, who knows what he's going to value, right? But you get a mom who's working, maybe a business owner, she's married, she's got 2 or 3 kids, they're at home, she's got pets. I promise you that lady will pay you anything for an hour to her own damn self, right? So the more specific we are about who we want, we just say, all residential people treat me like this. It's like, no, the residential people that you've attracted with the market you've been using have treated you like this. But if we have different systems and processes, we can get the right people and we can just set our own rules, right? So one of the things we teach right off the bat is you charge in advance for the whole month. Guess what? And people are like, what about reschedules? Reschedules drop through the floor because if I've already paid you, it's like the gym. If you give this a try, if you're a gym member, by the way, don't use it for the whole month. Go back and go, hey man, I didn't really use the equipment. So I'd like my money back for last month. And when they're done laughing, you can come tell me how that worked. Cause they're not going to do it, right? You paid for they're like, we had the gym. It was open. We're ready to go. We're not giving your money back. Same with cleaning, right? So if you kind of set the rules of you pay us to be ready, willing, and able to clean your place. And if you tell us to piss off, that has nothing to do with what we charged you, right? Call Netflix and be like, hey, I didn't really watch that many movies. Give me my $8 back or whatever. Good luck with that. So Netflix sets the rules of here's our job to create this thing and your job to take it or not. We don't care. So I would encourage you, get crystal clear on your niche, who they are, what pain you saw. And again, the pain of the beach bum whose dad gave him $1 million house is wildly different than the married mother of 3 who's got two kids and 3 pets at home. And if you try to use copy or systems that would attract the beach bum, it's going to turn off the mom. And if you try to use copy that's going to attract the VRBO guy or gal, it's going to turn off the mom. And if you try to use copy that attract the mom, it's going to turn off the other 2. So we have to be really clear on who we want. And then we just ask them what their pain is. And then we just talk about their pain. It's actually a lot simpler. It's not easy, but it's a lot simpler than you think. All right. I've gone way over because this is like one of my favorite topics. We're going to let you finish off. Big takeaway you got from the day, young lady.
Just getting clarity and honestly pointing out the drama factor, because that's just been, I've just been used to that. I didn't know that was something that could be removed of the VRBO last minute cancel bookings and stuff. So that's
a big mindset for everybody. Yeah. I can have the business that I want. Like that, literally, I was in a mastermind group like $70,000 a year, and the one big takeaway I got from that was I can have it any way I want it. I can have the business any way I want. I really like Kayla. I'd love to coach her and work with her, and that'd be fine. There's some people that are a pain in the butt, and they'd go, "Hey, can you coach me?" I go, "I could, but I don't think we're a good fit." Right? We can choose who we want as clients. We can choose how they pay, when they pay, what we offer. Perfect example. Kayla's like, "Hey, would you do my website?" I could do a great website for her. Not interested. Don't want to do it. We just don't. It's okay. So, Cleaning Nation, give yourself permission to have your business any way you want it. That's it, guys, gals. If you want more, go to growmycleaningcompany.com. We've done over 600 podcasts. There is a on-demand training. It's like the best 40, 50 minutes of training I've ever done. It's right at growmycleaningcompany.com. It's totally free. You get the 5 shifts that you need to transform your company. It'll cover all the stuff that we covered today, and it's amazing. Check it out now, growmycleaningcompany.com. See you there. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you're fired up, ready to grow, and want to see if you have what it takes to work with us at Grow My Cleaning Company, here's what I want you to do right now. Go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. That's growmycleaningcompany.com/talk to book an appointment to speak with me personally. I'm going to jump on the phone with you to get you crystal clear on where you are now, where you want to be, and how to get you there. Don't walk around in the dark any longer. If you are serious about growing your cleaning company, it's time to finally get the systems in place that you need to grow. We've helped hundreds of owners of cleaning companies not only grow their business and their personal freedom, but give back to their community as well. If that's what you're looking for, head over to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk and book a time to talk with me personally. I can't wait to get to know you and your business.